Be available by mail.
For many people, a new year can be a time for resetting and reevaluating. If your professional life could use a tune-up, our next guest has some tips for you. Joining us now is career and leadership expert Darcy Eikenberg. Good morning to you, Darcy. Good to see you.
Good morning, Jeanette. Nice to be here. Good to see you.
Listen, I was looking through some of your points, and I think people will love them because they're very practical. And this first one starts on a positive note. Celebrate what's worked. What do you mean by that?
Well, so often when we just bundle into the new year, we are just looking forward, and we have all these different goals and things that we want to do, that we look back and say, oh, I didn't do that, I didn't get that done. But I think we need to stop and celebrate everything that has worked, everything we have accomplished, and even the things that maybe weren't on a performance review or that didn't have like a ta-da at the end. You know, maybe we built a new relationship or took better care of ourselves or someone that we love. I think that before we really set plans for the future, we've got to really recognize and celebrate what's happened well in our past.
Yeah, I love that. I think oftentimes we don't give ourselves enough credit. So making a conscious point of doing that is great. This next one, stop saying you're stuck. And you say you hear that a lot from professionals. What does that mean exactly?
This time of year, I mean, it's a cold, nasty day out, and again, we're worried about so many things happening in our world and with our health, and we often get stuck in these mindsets where we say things like, oh, I'm stuck, or that won't happen, or good things don't happen to me. And we actually can pay ruts into our brain. There's actually neuroscience talking about how we can build these habits, and we start to believe our words. But if we catch ourselves and we stop saying that we're stuck, we stop talking negatively to ourselves, we can actually change our thoughts, which change how we feel, which change our actions and the things that we get motivated to do.
Darcy, I'm curious, now that you mentioned that, what does that look like? Do you build that into a routine? I know some people have morning affirmations or writing things down. What does it look like in order to make that a habit and catch yourself from making those comments?
Well, first, I think it's recognizing that there's a little part of your brain that's just trying to protect you. You know, sweet little thing. It's just trying to keep us safe. But it's a prehistoric part of our brain, and it doesn't help us in today's modern world. So we've got to recognize that's different from our brain that's in our superpower space, our part of our brain that wants to move us forward. So once we can recognize the two different types of our brain, we can catch it when we're in that negative, oh, I'm stuck, oh, things are hard, and we can talk back to it and say, I've got this, it's all going to be okay, I've gotten through harder things before, thank you, and we'll move forward. So we can talk back to that brain.
So catch it while it's happening. Got it.
Catch it, yes.
This next one, challenge your own assumptions.
We make a lot of assumptions in our workplace, don't we? We make assumptions that, oh, that promotion won't happen here, or I won't have more growth here until my manager leaves. But the truth is, our work is changing every single day. And even before the pandemic, all of our work was always just made up anyway. And so we sometimes get trapped in these assumptions of what is possible and what's not possible. And what I'm having a lot of conversation with people right now about thinking things differently and asking for what they need and challenging those assumptions, because we can create more than we ever gave ourselves credit for if only we just let the assumptions go of what's happened in the past.
Absolutely. In the last 30 seconds here, the last 2 points, I want to make sure to get to them. Invest in your growth, and you mean that literally too, and then find your boundaries.
Right, and these can go together. The only thing that's going to be a constant in your career is you. So this is the perfect time to invest in yourself, invest in what you need, create the boundaries that are right for you, and not wait for other people to make them for you.
The find your boundaries one, I'm glad we ended on that note, because, and I know you mentioned it as well, we're so hyper connected now, and there's great parts to that and also downsides. So making it at a point this time around, I think, is a great idea. Really quickly, I know you have a book out, Darcy, if you want to plug that in real quick for folks who want more info.
Sure. It's called Red Cape Rescue, Save Your Career Without Leaving Your Job. It's available at all online booksellers, and you can find more at redcaperescue.com.
All right, and there's her contact, Facebook, Instagram, and her website. Career career and leadership expert Darcy Eikenberg. Appreciate the tips this morning. Much needed. Thank you.
Thanks, Jeanette. Appreciate it.
All righty. 7:35 is your time.